traded in for a CBR 650F.
Dude, that was insane.
Yep. I'm about to literally stick my phone like here. Alright, cat, watch out. Alright guys, welcome back to the channel. It's been like 2 years, maybe more, since I've posted a video, and there's definitely quite the story. So if you don't want to hear the story, skip until this time right here, and that'll get to all the fun stuff. But for now, back to the last video I posted with the FZ1. After that video where my bike broke, I thought it was the stator rotor, and it didn't end up being the stator rotor. Basically what happened, I replaced the stator rotor myself, and it didn't fix it, so I took it to a shop. Basically what we ended up finding was that I spun a rod bearing. So basically from all the wheelies that I was doing, it was starving the engine of oil, which I should have known that, but sometimes you gotta learn the hard way. The reason it was out for so long is because I actually had waited a while before I actually brought it in to get it fixed. Because I mean, that's a motor. Unless you go in and try to replace the rod bearings, it just seemed like it was gonna be less expensive to just basically get a new motor. So that's what I did. I had to go to a few different shops before I actually found a shop that would do the work and get their motor replaced. So I was out for a while just because I didn't have a bike to ride. Now, I did post one video when I went up to New Hampshire and rode my VFR. There's still a part 2 that's coming to that. I just need to take the time to edit it, which I haven't done because I haven't been on the channel, and honestly kind of just got lazy and gave up a little bit, and there's kind of a reason to that too. So back to the FZ1. I replaced the motor. It took probably, I don't know, over 6 months to get everything done. They had to find a motor. We had to actually find a shop to do the work. We had to bring it to that shop. So so by the time the motor was actually in the bike, it was over 6 months. I think it was actually closer to a year that the bike was actually being fixed. So part of it was kind of just like I wasn't pushing really hard to get it done as fast as possible, which I probably should have. And then the other part of it was that it was kind of a long process, just waiting for everything to get taken care of. Now, during that time frame, had some life changes, and I stepped away from riding, and especially riding the way that I was riding. So I was going to sell the FZ1. So what did I do? Well, I sold the FZ1. I wasn't going to originally. I was just going to keep riding it, but I wanted to ride, and I didn't want to have to feel like every time I rode, I was doing, wheelies and doing crazy stuff. So I was like, well, why don't I sell this bike and get a bike that is a little bit less powerful and still be able to have fun? So it took probably another year before I actually sold that bike. And then now I have a 2007 GSXR 600. So I will be posting videos again. I will still be riding. I will still be having fun, and I will be doing track days as well. So I'm actually prepping the bike for that slowly over the next couple of months to get it ready to go to the track. And then I'll be taking it to the track with some friends and my dad as well. I'm going to try to do very frequent uploads. I would say maybe a few a month just because of work and stuff like that, life. But I saw some comments like this one and that one. I'm very much alive. I'm still here, but I just wasn't active on the channel. Just a big life change, but I miss it a lot. I miss riding a lot, and I'm definitely bringing it back. So I hope you guys are excited to see the videos of the Gixxer. I'm excited to ride this bike. I already have some stuff I'm going to be putting on the bike soon. I got a new exhaust coming in. What else? It's lowered right now because I bought it lowered, but it's going to be getting raised back up to factory height. Yeah, I hope you guys are excited. I'm excited to take it to the track. I'll definitely be making videos of that as well. But enough of the boring stuff. I'll see you guys out on the road. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to another video on the channel. I cannot believe that it has been as long as it has since I posted a video or even recorded a video. So for those of you who skip forward in the video, the FZ1 is toast, so that's gone. And this is a 2007 Gixxer 600. Got it with like 17,000 miles on it. There's a whole story that goes along with this bike too, but I'll save that for another time. The bike is currently straight piped, which I just could not stand how quiet it was. But don't worry, I already have an exhaust on order. It should be here tomorrow actually, but I could not resist getting out since it's such a beautiful day outside and getting a video in. Oh my gosh, I haven't even been riding all that much, or I hadn't been riding, but I have been now since I got this bike. Honestly, the FZ1, I had my fun with it. I was doing stuff on that bike that I felt like I couldn't have fun on the bike without doing that stuff. Wheelies and going stupid fast. Whereas on this bike, I feel like I can have more fun because this bike is still fast, don't get me wrong. You know, I'll never sit here and tell you a 600 slower than the FZ1. Basically, like, it allows you to be more relaxed and you can enjoy the bike more, riding more relaxed. It takes a little more effort to go quick. It actually makes it more fun. It's like the old saying, it's more fun to ride a slow bike fast than a fast bike slow. Not that this is a slow bike, but still. So I had to go and get a new GoPro mount this morning. I already left my house, went and saw a buddy of mine. He's fixing up his bike actually. So if you have been watching the channel for a while, he is the friend of mine that has had the Ninja 400. He sold that bike and then didn't have a bike for like 3 years. And then he finally just got a ZX6R, which he had been talking about before he sold the Ninja 400. So he's finally riding again, and he's working on installing an extended oil pan so that he can stunt it. So I was just helping him. He's got to order another part, which is coming in like a couple weeks. But we're going to be doing a lot of riding together. And he found this spot that's not too far from where I'm at right now. And I'm going to show you guys. It's like a little hidden road, which where I live, there's not a whole lot of those. You have to go kind of far. So it's like sort of in a new development, but there's nothing there yet. It's just the road. And it's off the beaten path. So you can't really see it all that well from the road. So he's like, well, it's a perfect spot to practice wheelies, because that's his whole thing, is he wants to be a stunt biker or a stunter. He's getting his bike all set up with a cage and everything, you know, one piece at a time. I don't know how much I'm going to be doing wheelies on this, because I tried to find an extended oil pan for this bike, but it looks like they made it tamper proof, like the pump or the sump tube is actually welded to the bottom of the oil pan. So trying to make an extended one makes it more difficult. I've seen people doing like custom ones, but I've also heard like, oh, you don't really need one for this bike. It's like, well, I don't know if I believe that. I'm not gonna go and do a bunch of wheelies like I did with the FZ1 and blow my motor for no reason. So I may do them here and there, but I'm not gonna be holding them as long as I used to until I figure out what I want to do with the oil pan. Also, well, I did mention before, if you guys skipped ahead, you wouldn't have heard, I'm going to be doing track days on this bike. So I'm getting this bike sort of prepped for the track. Honestly think that an extended oil pan is probably not a bad idea for the track. So I'll probably do that when I find out exactly how I'm going to do it. But this is the little road. So it's right off the main road over there, but there's nothing out here. So it can come back here. It's kind of twisty. Can't really do like hard cornering in here or anything like that. There's plenty of space if you're just learning how to do wheelies to practice, and we've spent some time back here already and nobody comes back here at all. Like empty, always. But yeah, guys, I'm very excited to be back on the bike and making videos again because, you know, life happens. You go through stuff and things change. You let go of things you used to enjoy. I definitely don't think that letting go of motovlogging is the right move. But yeah, I mean, ultimately what happened is when I stopped riding, you know, like every person who doesn't ride, you start to think, oh, riding's dangerous. You know, things happen if you're not paying attention or things out of your control. So I got all in my head about all that stuff and, you know, basically deterred me from riding even when the engine on the FZ1 was fixed. I just took too much time off and I forgot how fun it was and yeah, this exhaust is way too loud though. Right now the exhaust is literally dumping right underneath my seat, sort of. I'm gonna upload as consistent as possible. I'm gonna shoot for like once every couple weeks, maybe once a week. I do really miss riding, really miss recording. One thing that got me into motovlogging in the first place was the fact that you get to record all of your really fun experiences, and then later in life you get to go back and watch all those videos again. And I pretty much started recording and motovlogging since I began riding. Then I just stopped. And so there's just like this gap. I mean, not that I was riding that much, but I just really love how I get to preserve a lot of memories and fun experiences that I can, wow, look at the size of that lizard, bruh. You know, I get to go back and watch it. I'd be able to show my kids, probably maybe not show my kids right away, but like, this is what I was doing, all the stupid I was doing with my friends when I was littler than you. Alright, now I'm getting sappy. No more getting sappy. Time to fill up on gas. Alright. So, little backstory behind this bike. I've had this bike now for about a month, but I've actually only had the bike for like 2 weeks. Just about, maybe a little more than 2 weeks. But about a month I've owned this bike. So basically what happened, I sold the FZ1. Same day I went to go look at another bike on Marketplace, which just so happened to be this bike. And it looked like it was in pretty good condition, to owner. But the owner that was selling it to me didn't even ride it much. Like, he maybe 1,000 miles, probably not even, maybe 500. Like, we're talking like barely rode it. So to me, that should have been a red flag. It wasn't, because I didn't know any better, or I should have known better. I should have known better. So basically the bike hadn't been ridden in like, consistently ridden in like probably like 4 years. I took it on a test ride and everything was good. I think I mean, I knew it needed a rear tire. That's not bad. Little things here and there, just because the bike's been sitting. But overall, the bike seemed great. So, I bought the bike. I was riding the bike away. Less than 5 miles down the road, it shut off. It was misfiring and then it shut off. I'm like, great. So at this point, I'm thinking, it's probably spark plugs or something. I didn't think it was a fuel issue because I didn't know any better. But, turns out, it was a fuel issue. So, I did ask the sellers. I was like, hey guys, let's be real. I drove less than 5 miles away and the bike broke down. What's the deal? Can we make this right? Whatever. Which, it's Marketplace. That would have been completely up to them. And it was. And they said no. Basically, I got stuck with this bike. And I'm like, crap, well, I just sold this other bike and now I have a bike that doesn't work and now needs work. So I'm hoping it's just something small, right? So I take it to get looked at. Basically, what ended up happening is it needed basically a fuel system overhaul. So, for $3,000 later, on top of the purchase price of the bike, I now have a perfectly running motorcycle. And honestly, ooh, we just hit 18,000 miles. Woo! Honestly, it was my own fault. You know, I probably could have taken an extra glance or taken it on a longer test ride. But at the end of the day, this bike's fantastic. I've always wanted a Gixxer. Y'all can make fun of me if you want, but this has been a bike that I've wanted for a long time. At the end of the day, I'm very happy with the bike. I do wish that it didn't have issues, but boy, does this bike sound good. Oh my god, it screams. And it's not slow, it's just most of the power's up top. I'm glad to be back. I'm very, very glad to be back. I know that some of you are probably gonna miss the FZ1. I miss the FZ1 a little bit, but not that much, because I feel like I had my fun with that bike. I don't feel like I missed out on really much of that bike at all. And when I first started riding, as much as the naked style bikes are cool, my dream was never to be on like a sport touring style bike. My dream was always to be on a super sport. So this to me feels more like what I've always wanted. And this definitely isn't the last bike either. I'm definitely getting more bikes. This is just the beginning. I don't know if I'll ever get a 1000 though. I don't know how much I want of like all that power. I feel like, I don't know, man. I feel like it's not necessary to have that much power. I feel like you can have fun with a lot less. I also have lack of self-control. I mean, I do. I have some self-control, but I feel like a 600 allows me to push the boundaries a little bit more forgivingly. Don't get me wrong, 600 is still a very fast, very powerful bike, but it's not a 1000. The FZ1 was stupid. And it's crazy to me that they make bikes like the typical 1000s today have like 200 horsepower or right around 200 horsepower. Like, bro, you're power wheeling in like fourth. My FZ1 is slow compared to those bikes. One thing I didn't like about the FZ1 was it wasn't a super light bike. It didn't feel nimble. And even my VFR that I have, that's like 500 pounds, that's more nimble than the FZ1. But alright guys, that's gonna wrap it up for this video. I hope you guys enjoyed. Like I said, I'm gonna be posting more content, but I hope you guys have been well, and I'm excited to keep making content. So I'll see you guys in the next video. Peace out.